following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, welcome to The Ring and All Other Sports. My name is Leo Connors. I'm your host, along with my tag team partner and co-host, Eric Dukes.
Hey, brother.
What's up, brother? How you doing,
Good
man?
to see you this week.
Good, too.
Nice
You
to
too.
see you.
So, listen, we got a bunch of things to talk about. I do want to go right to the cigar of the day.
Wow, that quick?
Yep, that quick.
All right.
Because I really want to talk about something next, too. And I'm interested to see what you have.
All right. So let's.
Hooch bags.
Let's. You beat me
I
to
had
it again.
to,
I appreciate it. I
had to.
appreciate it.
I love saying that.
Ready? Hello, Hooch Bags. Today's cigar of the day is good. Oh, man. Sorry. Top of the line, top shelf stuff. You have yourself here an anniversary 64 Padron. Sorry, no other cigar tops this. It's Padron is definitely one of the best, one of the top shelves ever. I want to say hello to my Hooch Bags, first of all, because I know they've been watching the show. I want to say Queen Bee and Pap, Rainmaker, what's up? Taja Campbell, what's going on? Kenny Washington, Kenny V. Sean, what's up, brother? Can't wait till you get home. If you guys are in the Nashville area, because again, if you're watching this, you are.
Right.
Go to Cashwell's back room and see Eric. Tell him Dynamite sent you. He'll pick out you a good cigar.
I got to smell it.
Oh, this one?
Last
this
time.
one?
Oh, yeah, it's rich.
That's just pure, man.
Wow.
That
that's
is
nice. That's real
Padron
nice, guys.
Padron is a family company. It's been around a million years, and these are all hand rolled.
Wow, nice.
They have the same people, the same thing, doing
I
the whole
roll
thing.
really good, too.
Here we go.
I do.
Here we
Sorry,
go.
Ma. Bob would have really liked my rolling job, that's for sure. But absolutely. Derek.
Yes.
Monday Night Raw. Today's a little different. We're not going to talk much
Well,
wrestling. We are going to talk some.
Yeah, but why
Uneventful.
Raw? Really?
Uneventful. Let's just hit the... What do you think was the match of the night? I think we're probably going to come up with the same.
Well, wow, for 3 hours, I would have to say, truthfully, would have to be Kevin and Sammy.
Yeah,
Period.
Absolutely. There's nothing compared
What
to
a
that.
terrible night. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just just step over step of nothing, and the vignettes and everything was horrible. The match of the night definitely.
Yeah.
Match of the night definitely was Kevin Owens going over Sami Zayn.
Yeah, and it was. And what do you expect from those two guys, too, though?
Oh,
I mean,
my
they've
God.
wrestled each other probably over 200 times. Seriously.
All over the world.
Right, and I can't wait to someday to see them do WrestleMania. Seriously, because I can guarantee you, they might have wrestled each other 200 times or more.
Yep.
But if they get to that grand stage, it's going to be unbelievable.
Epic.
And one more thing we're going to talk about, Rob, because Sasha Banks came out, and she said she had some bad news.
Well, let me tell you, I was
worried.
up. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Don't do this.
But the bad news is, Charlotte, you're in big trouble.
Excellent. I was so happy to, and I was wondering when Useless Dana came out anyway.
Well, I was going to say your favorite
Yeah,
came
my
out.
favorite person came out.
Your favorite.
And I'm thinking, all right, so she's talking smack on the radio, on the microphone, and I'm going, something ain't right. Then, boom, Sasha hits it, boom. Oh, yeah, by the way, the bad news is, tell Charlotte that, Clash of the Champions and so on and so forth. I was like,
She's going to win that title
I
back.
was sweat. Here's the thing. I don't know if she's going to win it back right away.
Right.
Because now with all of the pay-per-views they're revamping,
Yeah.
I think it's going to go from here to here to here to here. I think Charlotte is going to win by DQ.
I like the chase.
Yeah, me too. See, especially when it comes, this is where we go back to the NWA days.
Right,
Where you
exactly.
chase the person
it.
for the title.
For months.
For months. And then finally the WrestleMania for NWA, of course, was Starrcade.
Starrcade, yeah. Those
And
are great
that was
shows.
unbelievable. And, of course, Starrcade, you had people like when Tully Blanchard fought Dusty Rhodes.
That was
for
that the I Quit one?
That was the I Quit match for the television title in a cage.
yeah.
I mean, come on, man.
Wow.
That's the kind of stuff that you want to see.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that between her and Charlotte goes, okay, so Charlotte will get disqualified somehow, and Sasha get pissed, and it comes Monday night, and something will happen, and then they'll do it again, and then another pay-per-view, and hopefully a couple down the road that Charlotte will lay down again, give her the title, and let her run again.
A longer run this time because, like you see, she got hurt last time, they were saying, so.
when you blow a spot, that's what happens.
Yeah, that was
Weird.
irresponsible the way
Yes,
you drop her like
definitely.
that. Is that a good word to use for
Definitely.
that?
Yep.
Say that? That's a good word.
Definitely.
All right. Well, so like
Let's
we
see
said-
how quick that was.
Yeah.
That's
so
it.
Now it's Monday Night Raw this week,
That's-
folks. Let's hope next week will be longer.
Please. Well, better.
Yes. So we're going to jump in and talk a little bit about the UFC because this Saturday night, CM Punk is finally going to make his debut. We'll talk about Punk at the end, okay? But we're going to just review. I just want to talk really more about UFC 200, one of the greatest cards I've ever seen.
Wow, yeah, this past
And
one.
I'll tell you, I saw every fight. I have the fight pass. I watched the preliminaries on Fox Sports 1. I watched the main card. It was a great show.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, the fight pass was the best. The show opened up with a lightweight
Two of my favorites.
fight.
Two of my favorites.
Joe Lazon defeating Diego Sanchez with a TKO in the first round with a minute 26 seconds
Wow.
in. Diego Sanchez had never been stopped in 30 fights?
Yep.
Something like that, you know? Joe Lazon from Bridgewater, Massachusetts,
Yep.
another local kid. You know,
Yes,
we
sir.
love our local
You
guys.
better believe it.
Great fight. Joe has looked so good in certain fights, and then he's taken leaps forward.
Yeah.
To just take a step back
Yep.
here and there, and real quick, he did take a step back at UFC 202 when he lost to Jim Miller.
Yep.
But speaking of Jim Miller, we'll talk about him in a second. The second fight was a middleweight fight with Jagad Mousasi defeated Thiago Santos.
I can't leave that one.
Yeah. Well, Mousasi's pretty good.
I know, but
But I know Santos is good.
yeah, he's crazy.
They're all good, though, honestly and truthfully. Like the name guys, I'm saying.
Yes.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
They
yeah.
really are.
Mhm.
Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. You know, really.
Depends on who's on top of the game that night.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But he beat him first round, 4 minutes and 32 seconds into the first round. TKO. Punches. Actually, past fights all ended up with TKO punches on the ground and pounds and stuff.
No kidding.
Yeah. The next fight was a lightweight with Jim Miller defeating Takanori Gomi, who's another tough kid
Yeah.
from Japan.
Don't know him though.
Yeah. First round, 2 minutes and 18 seconds in. Like I was just saying, at UFC 202, Jim Miller defeated Joe Lazon by unanimous decision, and I was really bummed because
Oh, that's
love
right.
the-
That went to the cards.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Went to the
And I'll
judges.
tell you, Joe didn't look as well as he obviously looked against Diego Sanchez. Then we went over to Fox Sports 1 for the other preliminary fights. And on the lightweight fight, up-and-comer Sage Northcote defeated Enrique Marin by unanimous decision.
Don't know either one of them.
You're going to get a lot of unanimous decisions. Sage Northcote, remember that name. Because seriously, kid's good. Real good. Then we had a bantamweight fight with TJ Dillashaw, who I know you've heard of.
Yes, sir.
Defeated Rafael Asuncao.
Oh boy.
KO.
Sorry.
Asin KO, that's all right. 'Cause these people, they know me by now.
Right.
I don't get everybody's name right. Oh, well, by unanimous decision. And then at a catch weight at 171 pounds, we had Kelvin Gastelum defeated Johnny Hendricks. Johnny Hendricks has really slid down the last 2 or 3 fights.
Yeah, I thought
he was.
He was pretty good on his opener. He did really well on his opener. Second fight, you could see he was kind of struggling, but he did well.
He's been having a hard time cutting weight.
Yeah.
That's his problem. Right
He's a
now.
stubborn bastard.
He needs to move up.
He's
in
a
weight.
stubborn bastard.
Yeah, because
He needs to move up instead of go down.
Absolutely, because if you can't make that weight, or you're struggling to make that weight, you're not going to be very successful
Correct.
in the octagon.
Yep.
And then we had our first women's fight of the night as Juliana Pena defeated Kat Zingano by unanimous decision.
Actually, that one I did see.
That was a good fight.
Yes, it was.
That was a real good fight. Juliana Pena, I really like her, but I like Kat Zingano too. That was a good fight.
But see, I think Kat is more, like more of the grappler. If you notice the way she moves.
I think
know?
I think they're both good grapplers, but Kat is better on the ground,
Definitely,
and Juliana
definitely.
is definitely better stand up
Yep.
for sure. I agree with you on that.
You
That
can
was
tell. You can tell who's jujitsu,
Right.
and who's wrestling was better. You could see.
Yep.
You could see it in that match.
Yeah, and Kat's definitely good. It was a good fight. It was pretty close. But Juliana Pena got the win. So then we went to the main card on pay-per-view. I had a bunch of people over. Matter of fact, just real quick, that was the last night I saw Jessica. She came over to the house with Jisiah, and Sarah was there. And, it wasn't even Sarah's weekend or nothing. And Sarah came because Jessica was coming. She hadn't seen her in a while and stuff. So just to say feel-good moment, that was nice,
Nice, brother.
So the main card opened up with the heavyweight fight as Cain Velasquez defeated Travis Brown by TKO in the first round.
Oh.
4 minutes, 57 seconds. Mr. Ronda Rousey has not been doing well his last couple fights. Now, obviously, I could say that here.
Right.
I'd never say that.
No,
in front
no,
of him,
no, no, no.
'cause he is tough.
Yeah.
But it's Kane.
Yep.
Kane's an animal, you know?
And his mindset, man, when you can see the times when he is having a great day and when he's having a bad day.
Yep.
You can see it in his fighting. Like this one, he was on top of
yeah.
the world.
Oh, yeah. Travis couldn't do anything.
Nope.
I mean, the whole, it only lasted almost the whole round.
Right.
Okay, because it stopped it with 3 seconds
But
left.
the whole friggin' fight.
The whole thing, Travis could just knock it off. He
No.
hit him a couple times, but nothing to like.
But
you
he
know,
had nothing at it.
Yeah, nothing. It was all Cain Velasquez. Cain should be in line for a title shot. If he wins another fight or two, I would not doubt to see him get a title
Yeah,
shot.
he should start talking smack. Let's see what happens.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
absolutely. I think Cain would love to get in the ring with Brock Lesnar.
Are you
again.
kidding me?
I know he would.
Are you? Come on.
Because I'll tell you
Come
right
on.
now, Brock's a great wrestler, but Cain is a bad dude.
He's a
man.
badass.
Bad dude.
And he beat Lesnar like he was a woman.
Yes, he did. Yeah, he did. Brock don't like to get hit. We all know that. Not that everybody likes to get hit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But he really doesn't.
I know, but it kills me because when Lesnar started fighting, of course, his first fight, he was taught, hey, welcome to MMA.
Yeah.
And then, of course,
Left his leg there.
left his leg there. And then what happened? And then, of course, they put him in the ring with a 50-year-old guy, and I'm thinking, oh, God, there goes,
Right.
Couture.
Yeah.
And he just pummeled him.
Yeah. And then he got Mayor again. He pummeled
Him again.
But the best fight I've seen of his, right, was the one when he fought Shane Conway.
Yes.
Because that ref in the first round could have stopped that fight
Yep.
5-6 different
Yep.
times. But I'll give Brock credit. Every time he told him to do something, he did.
Did it.
He did.
He did.
And he saved himself because
Well-
I thought that fight could have been stopped.
It should have been
Probably
stopped.
should. Yeah, I hear you. But it was Brock. And
But
they-
it was, yeah.
Yeah, and they were probably told you don't stop that fight unless,
Well, think about
you
it.
know,
I mean, you got
other
two
money and
animals in the ring, and Dana White has probably got an earpiece going. If you stop this fight, you're gone. You're
Right,
fired. You're
right.
gone.
That was a great fight, though.
Good.
I love Shane Conway. I haven't seen him in a while. Either.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see him again soon.
Good fight.
The next fight up we had was a featherweight battle between Jose Aldo defeating Frankie Edgar by unanimous decision.
That killed me.
What surprised me was how lopsided two judges had it. They had it 49-46.
I didn't see that.
And the other judge had it with the way I saw 48-47.
Yeah.
I could have even been. I don't know. It was interesting.
It was this close.
Yeah.
That other judge must have had his head up his ass because I don't know what he was looking at.
right. Next up, you mentioned this earlier after you couldn't believe that he actually won. But I kind of seen this coming. Light heavyweight fight. Daniel Cormier, who was supposed to fight John Jones, and he's really lucky he didn't.
Ooh,
Let's put
boy.
it that way, because the way he performed.
Yep.
But he defeated Anderson Silva by unanimous decision, laying on him. If he was in the ring with John Jones, he would have got his ass whooped,
Good.
dude.
Good.
He would have. And I'm not a big fan of Cormier because I don't like his style of fighting. I really
Right.
don't. He likes to lay on you. A lot of people say that's how Brock fights, but I'm a pro wrestling fan. So I'm going to want to watch
Correct.
Brock fight. I
Right.
call him Rock.
Right.
Next up, speaking of the man, the beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar defeated Mark Hunt
This
by
was a
unanimous
terrible
decision.
fight, though, man.
I don't understand, though.
Me neither.
Mark Hunt, not like coming like the third round, why he wasn't
I know.
throwing bombs,
He was just
trying
You could
harder.
see he was just there, like, yep, okay, I'm here to fight.
It
He
was-
wasn't into it.
No.
He
and
wasn't.
once Brock gets you on the ground, you ain't moving, man. You're really not. People, he's a strong. Well,
Yes.
he's very strong and he's great on the ground.
Right.
And he just puts all that weight on you.
He's fast for a big guy.
Mark Hunt would have been better off coming out blazing in the first round. to
Which he
catch
should have.
Brock.
Because you should have just
And
went
he
guns,
didn't.
just went in guns blazing.
Yep.
And he didn't.
Right. And then everybody's saying how Brock failed the drug test and all that. It is what it is.
Listen, it's this whole drug test BS, and exactly what it is. It's BS, brother.
Right.
All right, listen, you think these guys get this big by not using some sort of supplement?
Well,
And I'm not-
they find legal stuff
Of course
that's
you
not
do,
banned.
and yes, you can.
Right.
Of course you can. So this whole he was get the hell out of here with this shit.
Right.
Who cares? Because it aggravates me because then you see, like for instance, with the wellness over in WWE.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand certain things if you are doing bad stuff.
Right.
You know what? What's his name got pinched for like I forgot what the hell the name of it. It was something about ginkgo biloba or some
Yeah.
stuff. And he mixed it with something or whatever it was. As a matter of fact, I was watching it on a special. They were talking about it came up in his bloodstream.
Now,
And,
who's this? Which guy?
Del Rio.
Okay. Oh, Alberto Del Rio.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Del Rio's been taking this stuff since he started professional wrestling.
Right.
That's how he keeps his physique. That's how he keeps his thing going.
Right.
And now all of a sudden they pinch him for it.
Right.
Come on, man, get out of here with this stuff.
They're mad from what I heard about that relationship with Paige.
Well, I mean, plus Del Rio is a loudmouth and out back anyway. And when they brought him back, I was wow.
I was surprised
because I know Hunter hates him.
Yeah. Right.
But here we go again. What's good for business?
Right.
You know what else isn't good for business is when someone's backstage and sound like Charlie Brown's teacher. Wah, 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 wah. That's all you hear.
Right.
So for him to go again, I quit before they, I quit before they released me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Really? All right, whatever.
Right.
So gone again. But this whole drug thing drives me crazy, man.
I hear you. The main event of UFC 200 ended up being Amanda Nunes. Nunes. Amanda Nunes. I'm sorry. I did know her name, too. But defeated Misha Tate for the women's bantamweight title.
I didn't see that coming.
Submitted her with a rear naked choke in the first round.
Did not see that coming.
Now, I'm going to tell you something that you didn't know, and neither did I until just like a week ago. Misha Tate had a real rough time making weight. There was a picture of her I saw on the internet, right? I know you can't believe everything.
Internet, but hey, whatever.
But this is what I saw. When she trying to make weight, she had to go back in the sauna, and they literally. Do you remember the Ultimate Fighter show with that kid? They had to keep putting him in and out, and the kid was like a baby. I hated that
They kept
kid.
dragging him back in and dragging him out.
And they hit him at the end. He was like, "Bring me in."
Oh, yeah.
Get up off you.
Yep.
Yes, and walk
Yep.
in, you know.
Yep.
But she was struggling to make weight. She was late. She looked bad, and that's what I heard. But she's a pro fighter, so there's no sympathy here.
No.
None whatsoever.
I don't know about you, but if you're the world champion,
Yeah.
and never mind who you beat to be the world champion,
Right.
you got to be at top of your game.
Absolutely. You shouldn't be struggling to make weight. I'm sorry.
No,
But you're
if
the
someone
world
says
champion.
jump, how high?
Exactly.
And,
I agree.
And it kills me, and she paid for it.
Yeah, she sure did.
Paid for it.
We're gonna pass UFC 201. I really didn't think it was a great card.
It was terrible.
Yeah, UFC 202. We'll talk about the main card. We'll go over a couple of results real quick, and maybe talk about two of the fights. The main card we're going to talk about. Tim Means defeated Sabah Homicide. Who knows, right?
Yeah, but you've seen him fight before.
Yeah, I have, but I still can't say his last name.
Right.
But Tim Means beat him. TKO, second round, 2 minutes and 56 seconds in.
It was a
Welterweight fight.
welterweight fight. Thank
Yes.
you. Yep.
And the second fight was another welterweight fight with Mike Perry defeating Hyun Gyu Lim. Sounds right.
God
Sounds
bless you.
about good to me. Thank you. By TKO, punches again. First round, 3 minutes, 38 seconds. Now, this fight I want to talk about. Another welterweight fight. Donald Cowboy Cerrone.
Yes.
Defeating Rick Story. Now, going into the fight, I thought Cowboy was going to win. Cowboy's on a good 3 or 4 fight win streak right now. He went up in weight.
Rick Story.
Yeah, Rick Story's pretty good. He's been around a while. He's not, he's not Cowboy Cerrone.
Right.
But he's pretty good. He's won his fair share of fights.
Okay.
But Cowboy looked unbelievable. He really did. He looked so good. Like I said, Cowboy's gone up in weight.
He didn't have. Well, that's
went up to
the only other way he could have went.
yeah, and I'll tell you, he was struggling to make
Yeah.
weight.
Well, he couldn't cut. There's
and
no way.
since he's went up in weight, he has not lost.
That's the whole thing, because you have to go with where
Yes.
your comfort level is.
And real quick, who he's fighting in at UFC 205? Robbie Lawler.
Whoa.
That fight's gonna be incredible.
Lawler's still champion?
Nope.
Okay, so
Nope.
Lawler's not champion
Lawler
anymore.
lost at UFC. Might have been 201. Yeah, he did. It was 201. He lost to Tyrone Woodley in the first round. He got knocked out. The first time I ever seen Robbie Lawler fight was the fight he had against Nick Diaz.
Yes.
And
Yes.
Did you remember that when Nick hit him? He went.
Right. And he had hair actually.
And yeah, he did have it.
Yes.
But I mean, when he hit him, he went stiff as a board and fell flat in his face. That was a great fight. That was like the first time I seen Robbie Lawler. It was like the third time I seen Nick.
Yep.
But that was a great fight. But Cowboy looks phenomenal. I can't wait to see this fight against we just talked about him. Hello. Former champ. Robbie Lawler.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know how you were going with
and
that.
Robbie Lawler's got heavy hands.
Yes, he does.
But I'm gonna root for Cowboy because I am a huge Cowboy fan. You remember that show Tap Out that used to be on the air
course.
years ago? That was the first episode was all about him.
Okay.
That was the first time I seen him, and I was like, I liked him right away. I liked his attitude. You know what I mean? And he's a tough kid.
Yep.
And he knows he's a tough kid, but he's not that much of a bragger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's got a lot of humility.
Yep.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good fight. Next up, we had a light heavyweight fight. Anthony Rumble Johnson defeated Glover Teixeira, knocked him out
Johnson.
13 seconds in. Now, you want to talk about heavy hands. Like we said, Robbie Lawler has heavy hands. This kid's got hands.
Johnson's an animal.
He can wrestle,
Yes.
but
No,
he
he's better.
needs to stay.
Yes, he's better.
Because his hands are
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
The ground and pound he has is great when
Yep.
he gets on top. But he usually doesn't fare well when he's
Yeah.
on the bottom, unlike a guy like Nate Diaz, who fought next.
Right.
In a welterweight fight, 170. Again, they fought at 170.
Right.
Conor McGregor defeated Nate Diaz by majority decision
Now.
in their second fight.
Now, don't BS. Don't BS. Who won that fight?
Oh, man. I can't really argue, I guess, with the judges, but I'll be totally honest with you. And you don't get points for this.
That's right.
Aggression
Mm-hmm.
was Nate.
Yep.
Conor was, backpedaling the whole fight, but Conor landed more shots. He did. But Conor never had Nate in any trouble of stopping the
Nope.
fight,
Nope.
while Nate had him in trouble in the second round.
I mean, yeah. All right. So
he did knock Nate down
Yes,
in the
he-
beginning of the second.
yes.
And then the next 4 minutes, Nate dominated that
Yep.
round.
I just
But they gave it to Conor because
Yeah.
of the knockdown. What about the 4 minutes of Nate
oh
dominating?
my God.
You know what I mean? Should have been a 9-9.
That was hands of fury.
Which it most likely was a 9-9 because in one of it was a majority decision.
Right.
One of the judges had it 47-47.
Yep.
To me, that was more right than the 48-47 the other two judges
Yeah,
said. I really do believe that.
I agree.
You know, but you asked me a question,
Yep.
and if you have to pick a winner, I hate to say it,
Yep.
but because you don't get points for aggression,
Yep.
Conor did win the
Yeah.
fight. I hope they have a third fight. I know you told me that.
Well, like I
Dana's saying
said,
they're
he
not.
came on Fox
has
1.
to, though.
He came on Fox 1. He came on the UFC channel, and he was like, "Enough. I'm done. We're moving on." He was, and you could see he was
Right.
pissed off.
Right.
Enough. I'm done. No more talking about it.
Did you see what Nate did after the fight?
I did. That was cool.
He pulls out a bone and just lights it up. Now, I heard off the air that he had a bag, with a big bag of weed. Seriously.
I bet.
Like a big bag.
I bet.
And that's Nate. He's going to get fined for that.
Smoking some birdseed.
Yeah, smoking some birdseed. Something happened, too, at the hotel that night. Some guys decided to jump Nick in the bathroom, and they paid the price for that. You know, somebody, I'm going to tell you the story that I read. Somebody tried to steal his bike one time. 3 guys had no idea who he was. So, he started to fight back. They thought they were tough.
Mm.
No. In the end, Nick got the best of 3
Right.
guys that tried to steal his bike. Pays to know who you're stealing from.
It does too. Well, it does. I mean, think about it. But also remember too, and that's why, if you notice, Mike Tyson,
Yep.
the baddest man on the planet.
Oh, at one time, absolutely.
How many bodyguards did he have at one time?
Right.
Why though?
Right.
Why? Because listen,
Everybody wanted to be a tough guy.
I'm Mike. I can fight Mike Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Have a few more drinks. I can fight Mike Tyson,
Right.
and that's why he had that bodyguards.
Right. That's so funny that you said that because how people want to test you. I used to go drinking with Mickey Wood. We used to
Oh,
party in the woods and stuff.
and I bet you.
And people wanted to try Mickey all the time.
Mhm.
Stupid people.
Yep.
All my friends in Lowell, Paul Lekas, you know this, Adi Adley. You guys all know this, Richie Bryan. Richie used to work the corner for Mickey.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I'll never forget the night that Richie it was a fight in Lowell, and there was a knock on the door, and Richie's dad had just passed away. So Mickey grabbed him before he went out, like before he left, and said, "I'm going to win this for your father." Mickey went out and knocked him out in the second round. But honestly, people tried Mickey, and that was like so stupid.
Why would you bother?
Right, he's a fighter.
Exactly.
But it's funny because it was usually never guys his size. It was
Right.
always guys that, were
Yep.
big.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they would pay the price. But Mickey was never a punk, honestly and truthfully. And you guys all know this, my friends from Lowell. Mickey is a humble guy. And he's the same guy now that he's had all the success
Right.
that he's totally deserved,
Yep.
honestly. And And he's always been the same guy. He's still the same. He's still humble. He's still the same guy. You run into him, you still get the same hug, talking to you. You know, he hasn't changed one bit, you know. And like I always say to a lot of people that don't know him, the things that have happened to him couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Right.
And that's the truth.
Right.
I mean, when he had his career, at one point he lost 6 or 7 straight fights because of his hands. Were all messed up. The little cops, you seen the movie The Fighter, right?
Of course.
They smashed his hands and messed up his hands, but Mickey didn't take the time off. He took a 3 or 4 year hiatus, got his hands fixed, and look what he did when he came back.
I know.
You know, could you imagine what he would have did if he had them fixed earlier? Honestly and truthfully. I mean, they had that movie, The Fighter's great, but they didn't even show any of the gaddy fights.
Yep.
So, Mark Wahlberg, if you're watching, which I doubt you are, but maybe I'll tag Jimbo.
Yep.
Tell your brother to do the second movie, will you? Because I got Jimbo on Facebook, and I know Jimbo from when I lived in Southie. He did a lot for me when I lived down there.
Nice,
Seriously,
nice.
wicked nice guy.
Well, I'm good friends with Nacho.
Oh, all right, there you
I
go.
smoke cigars with Nacho.
No kidding.
Yeah, so I'll
Now, that's the inspiration for Turtle, right, on the show Entourage?
right.
I heard, right?
Right. Now you got to remember that, and I laugh every time. I really do. That for the TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Nacho didn't try out for the TV show.
Okay,
But Johnny did.
okay.
The one,
The one that, played Johnny Drama?
right.
Okay.
The real Johnny Drama.
Yeah, yeah. He tried out and they didn't pick him?
And they didn't pick him.
Wow. Well, they picked a great one, though.
Oh yeah, I love him.
Kevin Dillon is unbelievable.
Great kid.
Seeing that you brought that up, I have to. Did you see the movie?
Of course.
Didn't you love the ending?
I did.
He wins.
Oh, my God.
He wins the Academy Award. Come on, man. Everybody made fun of Drama through the whole
Yep.
series.
Yep.
And there he is at the end. I swear to God, I popped.
Oh yeah.
So huge.
Oh yeah.
You know
Definitely.
what I mean? I was so happy. I was like, I could just a movie. But I
Yep.
was like pumped as if somebody won a world title watching wrestling, like Sasha Banks. I did. I popped.
Well-
Maria's like, why are you so happy? It's a goddamn movie. I'm
Yeah.
like, you have no idea.
Well,
She
right.
didn't watch it.
She didn't watch the show.
She didn't watch it. And Johnny Drama got shit on the whole show.
The whole time.
The whole time.
And in the TV show too, the one
That's
that was
what
on
I mean.
HBO. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah, on the
Yeah.
TV show. And it's funny too because Johnny actually talked about it one night, and I how do you not laugh
Right.
when you go out to try out in a movie
It's about you.
about you
And you don't get
and
it.
you don't get your own part?
Yeah, that's messed up.
Why he didn't jump off the Tobin, I'll
Yeah.
never understand.
Well, good thing he did it.
I
You
know,
what
thank
mean?
God, Maron, but still,
Yeah.
he tried out for his own self and didn't get the part.
Right.
That is unbelievable.
But he must at least be happy that the role was played great
Oh,
by Kevin Dillon.
And it's funny.
Seriously.
Well, it's funny too because when they finally got all the roles, Kevin Dillon sat with him and was like, tell me about you, and he followed him around. And,
Right.
and that's why if you watch the TV show from HBO
Yeah.
and watch Johnny Drama, you go, oh shit, that's not him for real. Kevin, right on the money.
See, now you said that. That's the same thing with Christian Bale, with Dickie Eklund. Everybody from Lowell, again, all the guys from Lowell. I'm going to tag y'all in this, all right? Right, Leak? Everybody was saying, who's going to play Dickie Eklund? He is way too unique. No one can play him. Christian Bale.
Nailed
Followed
it.
him around.
Nailed it.
You watched the movie and you thought you were watching Dickie Eklund.
Nailed
you
it.
really did.
And he did a great job.
You know, I'll tell you how funny Dickie is. I was with Maria one time. We were in Walmart, and I hear, Leo! Nobody there. So we're just looking at clothes. Leo! Turn around. No one's there. Third time. Boom, I look. One of these. He's in behind the clothes. Calling my name and like ducking his. I hadn't seen the guy in like 12 years. But that's just Dickie.
Right.
Wacky. You
Right.
know what I mean? Not in a good way. In a good way. And I'll tell you a real quick Dickie Eklund story. One night, he asked me for a ride. So I gave him a ride. Brought him over to this house. And he says, don't leave. Okay. I'm sitting there. About 90 minutes went by.
Oh.
I didn't dare leave. Honestly. You know what I mean? I didn't.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, he comes running out of the house. Go, 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 go. Rob somebody.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Hey, I am driving him around.
Oh.
I dropped him right off.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But
man.
and I knew never to give him a ride again like that. You know, but whatever. That was when Dickie was all messed up. Dickie is a great guy. He really is. One of the best moments I've ever seen was when Christian Bale won the Academy Award and Dickie was up on thing. Surreal moment. I'm
Yeah,
with
man.
Maria.
Yep.
You know, she only met him that one time, but she knew I know these guys. I knew everyone from Lowell.
Right.
You know, back then. And I'll tell you, to see Dickie up there with Christian Bale was unbelievable.
Definitely. Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it really was. It was surreal, you know, and it was a great moment. But let's get back to the UFC because
Well,
now,
I don't know if I want to.
well, we have to because this Saturday night, okay? I think because people want to hear about it, okay?
Well, that's true. That's
UFC 203 on the main card, a guy that's never had a fight before. He's going to fight a guy that had one fight. As Mickey Gall, with his one fight, one win under his belt, is going to take on CM Punk.
I hope.
0-0.
I hope
A lot of
Mickey
people do.
rips his head
A
off.
lot of people do. I don't, and I told you before how I feel about Punk.
I know.
Being the jerk all those times at the things. But I honestly and truly, I want to see him do good. And did you hear about the fallout?
I did.
That's unbelievable.
I know.
You guys, I don't know if you guys heard about it, but CM Punk and Colt Cabana, best friends. That famous promo, the pipe bomb, where he said, "Hi, Colt Cabana."
Yep.
Well, I guess they're saying Colt was backstage at a WWE event. Now, Colt was named in the lawsuit too
Correct.
by that doctor.
Yep. Correct.
And Vince is back and is paying for the lawyer from what they're saying.
Right.
Whether it's true or not,
Yep.
I don't know. Probably is, though.
Right.
Because I'm sure Vince can be a real vindictive dude.
Mm-hmm.
But so they're suing them both. So maybe Colt's smart enough to say, let's not get sued. So Punk didn't like that, from what I heard. This sounds so silly. I feel like I'm talking about guys that were in high school. They stopped following each other on Twitter. Or as like old people will say, the Twitter.
The Twitter.
The Twitter.
The Twitter
But
machine.
yeah. But they stopped following each other. And it's too bad because, when you're brothers for so long, as you know, right? You can't let something stupid and silly. But I'm sorry, but that's Punk.
That's CM Punk.
It is.
Scumbag he is.
Sorry, D. I know you love him because every once in a while I'll say something, and, then he'll be like, I know, he's my boy, though, It's true.
D, I love you, bruh.
I actually want to hit up D and like Eddie and stuff, see if they could send Jai a message. You know what I mean?
that'd be
I think
awesome.
that would be awesome. Probably now I can't let Jai watch this one. You know what I mean?
Oh,
but
yep.
I really, and
Can you rewind that, please?
Yeah.
Cut that out.
No, but it's all right because I just won't let him see that one.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Because he usually watches them with me.
Right.
Anyway, so I'll just skip right over
Right.
that. But yeah, I was thinking about because he really likes those guys.
Yeah.
I think that.
I know he loves D, and I know he loves Eddie.
You know what I mean?
So,
So
yeah.
I think that would be nice. And I'm bringing them to Beyond Wrestling on October 2nd, and I'm sure that, like I told you, they all come there. It's pictures galore at that show. Honestly.
Yeah.
You sit up you go up in the balcony, and each match, I told you before, different guys come out and commentate.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I'm smart enough to catch them as soon as they're leaving.
Yeah.
Hey, couple pictures,
Yep.
especially when you have a 9-year-old. Nobody says no to a 9-year-old.
Yep. Yep.
Except Wolfie D, who tries to charge you $5. And again, it still irks me
I know.
because I still like PG-13. I still watch I watch Memphis Wrestling at least once a week.
And I love his dad.
It's a super. Jamie's dad.
Jamie's dad. Yes, I love Jamie's dad.
Yeah, superstar.
Yep.
Jesse, he don't look so well though.
Oh my God.
Like for a guy that was a handsome dude when
I
he was
know.
young, he looks rough now.
Well,
but I still love him.
You seen Ricky Morton lately?
Yeah, I know. And you know what sucks? Bill Dundee, honestly and truthfully, is a Hall of Fame type wrestler.
Yes, he is.
For the size that he was
Yep.
and the money he drew, the houses he packed, he's a Hall of Fame guy.
Asses in the seats.
He is. He really is. When Jerry Lawler wasn't there, they still could pack the place with the superstar.
My God, when they were battling each other or they were
Oh,
world tag team champions together,
yeah.
they packed the house.
They went back and forth. And I mean, honestly and truthfully, like I said, I actually got up. I couldn't fall back asleep last night. I watched a couple of shows last night.
Man, it's just...
I even watched the Power. Remember the Power Pro when the WWE had a
course.
little thing? Bill Dundee was like the commissioner.
Oh, God.
It was pretty funny, right?
Was
Because
he
he comes
really?
out and he's putting down Mick Foley and
Oh,
stuff. It was just
God.
kind of funny because I'd never seen that footage.
Right.
I usually I go and watch the old Memphis stuff.
Yep.
But I was like, you know who was on that too? Was Spanky Shooter Schultz and American Dragon, Brian Danielson with the mask
my
on.
God.
It was pretty cool. You should look at it. You should watch
Yeah,
it. It was really cool. Spanky did all the talking.
Dude, I love the network,
Yeah.
so love it.
But this was, Memphis is going to be on the network, but this was just on YouTube.
I'm just wondering if they're
They're going to be coming
wrapping that up pretty soon.
Now, hopefully, real soon. All right, let's get back to CM Punk real quick.
No,
Only
let's not.
He
No.
doesn't want to.
No.
Well, I think Mickey Gall's probably going to win. I really do. I hope CM Punk wins because he's a wrestler.
Well,
and I know a lot of CM Punk's friends.
I just hope
I know
that
somebody-
Mickey grounds and pounds him and the ref doesn't stop it.
Right. I know one guy that hopes Punk loses.
Who's that?
Sean Wiggins. Hanson. I know
Yep.
he doesn't want
Yep.
He wants Punk to get knocked
Yep.
out, choked out. He wants both. He
Yep.
wants him to knock him out
Yep.
and then choke him
That's
out.
correct.
Or vice versa.
Yep.
But, yeah, so Saturday night, if you're into it, UFC 203, I'm probably going to try to find a place that's showing it. I heard the Tilted Kilt shows the fights. If they do, I might just shoot over and
Oh.
walk in for that fight because
No
I know
kidding.
right around the main card starts at 10.
Yep.
I figure you get there around 10:30. By 11:30, you should be walking out because the fight's probably not going to last that
No, it's not going to be a long
I
fight.
really don't
No.
think it's going to. Definitely don't think it's going
Nope.
the distance.
Nope, definitely not.
But so that's our UFC coverage. Now we're going to go into a little wrestling.
Yeah, but you know what? We've been talking about doing this for a minute, especially, with the cruiserweight.
Yeah, that's
Because it's getting so, wow, you know,
yeah.
unbelievable.
In what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks. They named like 10 guys. I should have wrote them all down, but you'll see in 2 weeks the cruiserweights are coming. Gargano, Ciampa, Swan, Ibushi, Grand Metallic, T.J. Perkins, Zack Sabre, Noam Dar. I think I actually did know almost all of them.
Yeah.
Seriously. They're all going to be Cedric Alexander.
Gonna be
It's going to be incredible, guys.
be
It's
awesome,
going to be
man.
incredible. But last night, we had the last two quarterfinal matches. We had Zack Sabre Jr. defeating Noam Dar with the double arm bar using his legs. This kid has moves I've never seen before, ever.
Yep.
It's unbelievable. And he nearly dislocated Dar's arms, they were saying.
Ooh.
His shoulders. I'm sorry, not arms, shoulders. And Dar is forced to submit, and Zack Sabre Jr. advances to the semifinals. In the next match, I was a little bummed out, even though it was a great match. It really was. T.J. Perkins defeated Rich Swann. Again,
Perkins deserves it. He's a hard worker, man.
Unbelievable, dude. He's got the only two guys that had more experience than him is what, Spanky
And
and Tajiri.
And Tajiri.
That's it.
Yep.
Nobody else has as much experience as this kid.
definitely
This
not.
kid's been around 17 years, something like that. Since he was, 14, 15?
Yep.
It's like Trent Acid started wrestling at 14 years old. Matter of fact, one of his good friends passed away. This kid George, I was seeing on Facebook before Billy Real posted it. That's another one of Trent's best friends, you know what I mean? But I guess Trent had a circle of, like 4 best friends.
Right.
Billy Real, Johnny Cashmere, this kid George, and some girl named Debbie. But Billy told me that today on Facebook.
Salute.
Salute. Yes, absolutely. Rest in peace, George. T.J. Perkins defeated Rich Swann. It was a lot of, I like saying this too, a lot of flippy moves, because there was. Perkins focused his attack on Swann's knee, and Rich had landed badly on earlier in the match. There was a few times I thought Swann was even going to win. I really did. I thought, especially at the finish, Swann hits a Frankensteiner, then the Rolling Thunder,
Yep.
followed by a standing moonsault, but not enough. Got a 2 count, Swann hits a driver for a 2 count. Swann drags Perkins to the corner and looks for the standing 450. But TJ grabs the leg, the knee, for a
Yep.
knee bar. But couldn't get it.
Yep.
Swann got to the ropes. A little bit of back and forth. Swann's knee gives out as the official, who was the kid that used to wrestle for CZW.
I'm not sure.
Oh, come on.
Truthfully, I wasn't paying attention to the ref because this was just a great match.
I'll remember it. If not later, I'll take. But he was a good wrestler too. Honestly, he really was. But he's become a great ref. Everybody wants him to be their ref. Between him and Bennett,
Yeah.
they have some great young referees. But that's going to be. And another kid is Hanson's buddy, Sean Wiggins' buddy, is Bandito Jr. He's
Yep.
another one. So they got 3 real good young refs. It's going to be around for a long time.
Good.
But so Swann's knee gives out as the official checks on him. Perkins hits a Pele kick off a fireman's carry and transitions smoothly into a knee bar, and Swann has to tap out. Now we got our semifinals set. T.J. Perkins versus Kota Ibushi.
Okay.
Ibushi.
Yep.
And Zack Sabre Jr. versus Grand Metalik.
Yes.
I always was saying it metallic, but it's Metalik,
Metalik, yeah.
according to Mauro Ranallo.
Oh, yeah.
I like him, though. I really do. I listen to his podcast, too, him and Bass
Yep.
That's a really good podcast. But, yeah, so this is it. So I'm going to guess, okay? I'm going to say it's going to be Ibushi, and I'm going to go against it and not say Sabre Jr.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to say Grand Metalik.
Okay. All right.
But if it ends up being Perkins and Sabre, it ain't going to be wrong yet. It isn't going to be bad anyway.
No matter which way this ends, man. No matter which way this
ends. A lot of people are thinking Sabre Jr. and Ibushi. I think Kota Ibushi is going to win the whole thing. I really do. I mean, he's unbelievable in New Japan. He really is. I mean, going into this, he was probably the best. Well, they say Zack Sabre Jr. is the best wrestler because he's been wrestling in the United States for a while now. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Listen, I wanted to do this because football's starting, and I want to talk about football next week after the first week.
Right.
I figured we'd do that.
Yep.
You know? So, in honor of football starting, we're going to talk about 50 or so
Yeah.
football
I
players
don't know if we'll make 50.
that turned wrestlers. We'll get a few of
I
them
don't know
in
if we'll
there.
make 50,
All
but
right? Dwayne Johnson.
Yep.
You know, he played a little Canadian football. He was really good in
University of Miami, wasn't it?
yes, University of Miami.
Mhm.
Angelo King Kong Mosca.
Yep.
Canadian Football Hall of Famer. Great wrestler. The one thing I remember about King Kong is the thing he had with Pat Patterson back in the day.
Yes.
Where he smashed him with that
Yeah.
metal water thing.
Mhm.
I actually watched that 2 days ago. I caught it. Like I was just hitting, I was on YouTube, and I said, this guy, Richard Land, you should look him up seriously on YouTube. He's been posting all the old TVs.
Oh.
So, and usually I've watched so many, even if I haven't watched them off of his page,
Yep.
it will say watched. I've seen a whole bunch that I didn't watch, so I hit that one and it came up.
Okay.
Dusty Rhodes. Did you know that Dusty started professional wrestling in Boston, Massachusetts?
Correct.
For Tony Santos.
Yes.
I didn't know that until I watched this
Mhm.
DVD and read his book.
And he was terrible.
Yeah. But that was still pretty cool, though, that it was in Boston.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Pretty cool. Mojo Rawley.
Yep.
He was
Well, you know who his best friend is.
well, Gronk, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Mojo, I want to just read this real quick so I'm on the same. Yeah, Green Bay. Played for Green
Yep.
Bay for a little bit. His career consisted of 4 preseason games in 2009. But, again, I was never a big Mojo Rawley fan until he came over and took some pictures with us. Now I'm a big Mojo Rawley fan.
Right.
Yeah. It was pretty cool, though. It
Yeah.
really was. Billy Superstar Graham.
Of course.
He played a little bit. He tried out for the Oakland Raiders and Houston Oilers. He did play 5 games for the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL.
Yep.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart, another guy
Yes.
that played for the Oakland Raiders, right?
He was a
Dallas
frickin'
Cowboys.
animal.
Yes. Before finding fame tagging with the Hitman. But Neidhart's battles with the NFL players weren't over with his career change. Here he had matches with William Refrigerator Perry in that
Yep.
battle royal.
Yep.
They went at it a little bit. Next we have on is Fritz von Erich. Now we talked about him off here, and we thought he was in the Canadian football.
Yeah, I
league,
thought
but it wasn't.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was in the old NFL,
Right.
the team that is now defunct since 1952.
Yep.
Dallas something. Let's see if
Something,
I
yeah.
can find it real quick. Yeah, it's right here. The Dallas Texans.
Okay, it was the Dallas Texans.
That's pretty all right. Dallas Texans.
Pretty easy back then.
Yeah. Next up, Ernie Holmes from
Yes.
the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers.
Really good. He was also in the WrestleMania Battle Royal. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Which he was a linebacker.
Yeah, he played a little bit with the Atlanta Falcons. Like, he actually made the team
Yes.
and played in NFL
Yes,
games.
he was a linebacker.
Yeah, good. Not bad. Obviously, if you got to be somewhat good to play in the NFL. I don't care if you were only in there for 1 year, 2 years.
If you're in there for a ham sandwich, you still got to be good to what you do.
To make the team.
Correct.
Absolutely. Now the guy, Leo Nomalini. All right? Offensive lineman. He earned his Pro Football Hall of Fame, but his resume also includes a reigning 1/2 of the AEW World Tag Team Champions in 1961 with Wilbur Snyder, who was definitely a big name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not know that until I read.
Oh, I
Seriously.
didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's unbelievable, huh? Next up, Ron Simmons
Of course.
was one of the greatest
Yep.
professional football players of all time in college
College ball. Yep.
football players.
And remember the first
Florida State
black
world heavyweight
champion.
and he earned that. He
Yes,
was,
you
he
better
was
believe
awesome.
he did.
He was awesome.
And remember one thing.
Yeah.
When he won that title. It wasn't supposed to be him in that match.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who was it?
He was I guess he was there.
Surprised I don't know that.
And they said, "All right, Ron, you're going up against Vader tonight." And he was like, "Oh, okay. We're going to put you over Vader tonight."
That's amazing.
I want to say, please don't quote me.
Barry?
No, I want to say it was Davey Boy Smith or something.
Really?
Instead, or
We'll
something.
have to look that up.
or
man.
something
we'll try
like
to
that.
give you guys that answer next week.
Or if you can answer it for us,
Yeah, hit us up.
hit us up, man. Because like I said, I'm drawing a blank on it. But I know Ron was not supposed to fight that night.
Right.
But they put him in his place and they put him over for the world title.
Nice. Another guy who was a pro football player, but he only played a wrestler on TV. Lyle Alzado.
Lila. Yep.
Next up, I got Lawrence Taylor, who had that great match against Bam Bam Bigelow, which Bam Bam carried him through.
Didn't have a choice.
You know what I mean? Bam Bam really did carry them through
Yep.
that match. Bronco Nagurski, a guy from that we'd remember from World Class
Yep.
Championship Wrestling as a referee.
Correct.
Bronco had a very long career in the NFL, and he ended up becoming a wrestler. He was a charter member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1963, but he retired in the middle of his career and won the NWA World Heavyweight title twice, beating the legendary Lou Thez in 1939 for his first reign before returning to
Right.
the NFL. Not too many guys do that.
No.
They usually leave wrestling, then they bounce. They never bounce back to the NFL.
No,
like when they leave the
They
NFL.
leave the NFL, go to wrestling, and
Yeah.
retire.
Now, one of my favorite all-time football players turned wrestlers, and probably one of the most, if not the most successful, was Ernie the Big Cat.
Lad. Amen.
Now, Ernie Ladd, he played defensive tackle for San Diego Chargers, Houston Oilers, and Kansas City Chiefs before he took his 6'9" frame into the pro wrestling wars.
He's a
He's the only
monster.
person who earned induction into the American Football League Hall of Fame and the WWE Hall
Correct.
of Fame. Ernie was a big star everywhere he wrestled.
Just a big guy.
Everywhere, 6'9",
Monster.
man, the big cat. You know, real religious at the end.
Yep.
Bill Watts loved Ernie Ladd. That's where Ernie did a lot of work down in the Mid-South area. I'm going to skip over this guy real quick. William Refrigerator Perry. It still pisses me off that Walter Payton didn't score a touchdown in that game
Right.
against the Patriots.
Against-
Honestly.
right.
You're going to let William Refrigerator Perry score and
Right.
not the great Walter Payton?
Yep.
That was a travesty.
Yep.
Next, I'm going to let you go. Go ahead. Who's the worst guy that played football that you hate as a
Are
wrestler?
you sure you want me to?
Go ahead.
You want me to answer this?
Yep.
You talking about Useless Goldberg,
Yep. Good. I want you to talk about
who was
him.
never a pro wrestler, who was in the Attitude Era. They needed someone to look like Stone Cold Steve Austin, so they picked this retard and pull him out. And that really pissed me off because he was not a pro wrestler. And of course, to this day, oh, I'm a legend. You ain't nothing. He was never a pro wrestler. And never mind, oh, his knee hurt a little bit, so he had to get out of that, and he wanted to go to pro wrestling, which, why would you do that?
Right.
To do that anyway? And of course, most of his problems with wrestling was his knee.
Right.
Was always, that's why he always had it really taped up. And of course, Steve Austin over in the WWE, would, he had these special things
The
always put on the
braces.
braces,
Yeah, yeah.
where this bonehead wouldn't take care of himself on it. But he calls himself a pro wrestler? No.
And I hear these rumors about him coming back. Please, no.
Please don't.
No.
Please don't.
Next up is Alex Karras. Now, Alex Karras played I remember playing for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
He also was on a show. Remember that show, Webster?
Of course.
With the little black kid there?
Yeah.
He was the dad in that show, Alex Karras.
Really?
Yes. Now, he's a former Detroit Lion. He transitioned from football to acting. And he also had he was going up against the likes in wrestling against Dick the Bruiser. He was a pro wrestler also in a movie. He portrayed grappler George Zaharias.
Yes, he did. Yes.
Husband of famous athlete Mildred Babe Dickinson Zaharias in the CBS TV flick Babe.
Wow. Okay.
We talked about this guy earlier when we talked about Ernie Ladd, Cowboy Bill Watts.
Yes.
Who I did not know this until a few years ago, maybe 10 years ago, whatever. But he sold out Madison Square Garden quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
He had some huge matches with Bruno Sammartino.
But he was very well hated.
Yes.
Very well hated.
Yeah, but and most of the time I seen him on TV, he wasn't hated, except for when he was like the commissioner or whatever. Remember that when he was running WCW?
Booking for
The
WCW,
yeah,
yes.
the wrestlers hated him.
Yep,
But
everyone
he
hated
wasn't
him.
on screen. He wasn't like, what I mean?
Right.
I've always seen him as being a face.
Yep.
But he was a very, very, very good heel. He went to wrestling full time. He played for the Minnesota Vikings, but they wouldn't let him wrestle in the off season. So he went into wrestling full time and is best known as the heavy-handed but successful promoter of Mid-South Wrestling,
Yep.
later known as the Universal Wrestling Federation.
UWF.
He was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2009. I'm going to skip over Ahmed Johnson.
Well, yeah, that was a.
I definitely want to talk about this guy real quick. I brought him up to you off air. Quinn Moose Ojanaka. Okay, Moose.
Moose. Now
Started
working
with TNA.
TNA.
Started with Ring of Honor.
Yep.
This kid's got a lot of talent. I really do think if he keeps improving the way he has, he could end up being. And this is an if, though. I mean, it's not etched in stone because there's been some great professional wrestlers that
Right.
we haven't even mentioned yet
Right.
that were pro football players. But Moose got a good shot at it. He does. He's definitely a great athlete. He's got good head on his shoulders from what I hear.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So good luck, Moose. And he was a New England Patriot for a while, so I'll always like him for that.
I believe it.
Darren Drozdov. You know, he played pro
Wow.
football, yeah. You
And
know,
then it took one guard not to catch his spot.
Yeah. We had another guy that played for New England and San Francisco 49ers, Russ Francis.
Francis, yep.
His father was a pro wrestler and a promoter, and his brother was a pro wrestler too, Ed Francis.
No, Ed was the promoter.
Okay, Bill,
Bill.
yeah. Roman Reigns, we don't even like to talk about him when he wrestles.
Right. Not gonna talk about
Tito
him now.
Santana played
Which-
for West Texas State. Now,
Right.
did he play pro?
I don't think.
Look at this.
I don't think he went.
He might
to
have
pro.
tried. He tried to make the roster of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs.
But he did play briefly in the Canadian football.
See, that's
League.
another one. See, that's funny because they all go over to the Canadian League.
yeah,
That's right.
Now he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004.
4.
Yes. See, Monty Brown.
Monty. Yes.
Monty Brown.
Yeah.
He's another guy that played for the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty decent wrestler. I don't know why he stopped wrestling, to be totally honest with you.
Yeah. He went from. Didn't he go from WWE to TNA and they disappeared?
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
I like that little thing he had in ECW when he was part of the New Breed. Remember
Yes.
they took on the ECW originals at WrestleMania, what was that, 22 in 2007.
Yep.
Probably, I don't know. There's two guys I'm not saying back to back, okay? Because these two guys were phenomenal professional wrestlers and brought so much to the business and were phenomenal professional football players. Dick the Bruiser
Yep.
and Wahoo McDaniel.
Daniel.
Little bit about Dick. Among the NFL players who found a home in pro wrestling was William Fritz Dick Afflis.
Yep.
He missed out on the glory days of Vince Lombardi's Green Bay Packers, playing with the team from 51 to 54, long before Lombardi showed up in 59. But Afflis found his fame as Dick the Bruiser, a longtime stable of the American Wrestling Association.
That's right.
The Bruiser held the AWA World Heavyweight Championship once, but had his greatest success with his partner, the Crusher,
Crusher.
who loved
Love cigars.
Crusher. Loved
Love
the cigars.
cigars.
I think Dick did too.
Yes.
But the pair held the AW World Tag Team Championships on 5 different occasions.
I was going to say 6, so it's 5.
Yeah.
Okay, it's
Yes.
5. Okay.
And he also ran the WWA for years, especially after his wrestling career was over. He gave guys like, remember, you ever hear Greg Wojciechowski, the Great
yeah.
Wojo?
Mm-hmm.
He gave the Great Wojo. He was a very underrated wrestler, the Great Wojo. Seriously.
He went over to World Wrestling Alliance?
It's called World Wrestling Alliance.
Yeah, okay.
That was Dick the Bruiser.
Oh, no kidding. Okay,
Out
okay.
in, Indianapolis.
Yes.
Yeah. yeah.
Wow, no
that was
kidding.
a pretty good independent promotion.
That was great.
And it lasted a while.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, it was. You can actually catch some of that too, on YouTube.
We got to go to the. And we're running out of time.
Yeah,
but
we're
there's
not-
two guys we got to get to.
Wahoo.
Well, between Wahoo and then 2 or more then.
All right. Well, we'll say Wahoo then.
Yes.
Brian Pillman,
Right there.
Cincinnati Bengals.
Yep.
Here's a kid that wasn't supposed to be anything in life.
Yep.
He had his problem, remember his throat problems
throat,
and
yep.
all that. He played nose guard, and he was a little dude,
Yep.
but he had a heart.
And he was
had a heart.
And he was an animal, they said.
Animal,
Yep.
animal. And he became a great professional wrestler,
Mhm.
a phenomenal promo.
Yes.
His
My
stuff,
God.
his promos in ECW are amazing.
Oh, man, when he, oh my God.
And in WWE.
When he fought the pencil that night.
Yeah. I love this little thing he had in there with Joey Styles.
Oh, my God, man. That was just
At
wonderful.
one of the pay-per-views.
Yes.
Now, who else are you talking about?
Leon White, baby.
Vader.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
Big Van Vader.
Now, who did Vader play for?
Leon was, I believe, from when he came over, I thought it was Washington.
Is it Washington? Let's look. I'm going to find it for you, buddy.
I want to say it was Washington.
Rams.
Thank you. Okay, it
That's
was
all right.
the
He
Rams.
was a third-round pick of the Rams in 1978. He wrestled as Leon Bull Powell White in the AWA. He found his niche in pro wrestling with the sorted Big Van Vader gimmick that he got in Japan.
Well, because they wanted bigger guys
Yes.
in Japan again. So we went over there with, I want to say it was All Japan at the time.
Yeah, it was all.
It was All Japan at
Yeah.
the time. And he was just a dominant feature, winning the Triple Crown over there. I mean, he did it all.
I think it says there's a signature moment came when he beat Sting at the Great American Bash to win the WCW World Heavyweight title in '92.
Yep.
What about when Stan Hansen hit him with the clothesline and popped his eye out?
Oh, my
what
God.
What did Vader do?
Oh, my.
Popped it right back in.
If you want to Google that, trust me,
You'll see it.
his eye is hanging out of his,
And he just pops
and
it.
he just pushes it back into the, it was
Unbelievable.
It's awesome.
It is awesome. So now, all right, we got 3 minutes.
Yep.
So I just want to say this, Wahoo McDaniel.
Wahoo McDaniel.
Played for the New York Jets. And I'll tell you right now, right, what was his real name?
He was
Is it
Italian.
Ed McDowell?
He was like
Yeah.
Italian or something.
Wait, hold on, because I just want to say like his real name, okay?
Yeah, I think he was Italian.
Because forget it. I'm not gonna be able to find. Here we go.
It was
Oh, come on. What was his? Is it Ed? Come on.
another cigar smoking, bourbon drinking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Keep going. Here it is, right here. Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Edward, I was right. Ed
Right.
McDaniel. But when he made tackles for the New York Jets, they'd say, tackle by who? And the crowd would yell, Wahoo!
Oh,
Seriously,
right.
Pretty cool.
Yep.
All right, so that's about it for the football players turned wrestlers. We got 2 minutes left.
All right, brother.
We're going to the Red Sox Tuesday
Okay.
night.
Yep.
Last time I'm ever going to get to see Big Papi, unless I decide to go to a playoff game
Right.
and all that. The Red Sox right now are in first place
Which I
by
can't-
1 game.
1 game.
78 wins, 61 losses.
It's not a good record.
No, but they're in first. They're playing Baltimore
Yep.
next Tuesday.
Yep.
They have 3 games starting tomorrow
Yep.
against Toronto, in Toronto, and then they come home to play Baltimore for 3. I'm sitting like 6 rows behind home plate, so if you watch the game Tuesday night, which I'm kind of bumming because Drew Pomerantz, I figured it out, is going to pitch. I was really hoping for Price.
Yeah.
I really wanted Porcello because he's undefeated at home.
Yep.
But I just want to see. I think if the Red Sox can hit, they'll beat anyone. They are the best hitting team in baseball by far.
Yeah.
No one can hit as good as them.
Nope.
But then their bats go silent once in a while.
man.
It's just unbelievable.
I
It's
know.
so frustrating.
It is.
It really is, because I think the Red Sox have a chance to win it all. I think Big Papi can go out on top. You know.
Would be nice, though.
Be
awesome.
Wouldn't
Yes.
it be awesome?
Yes.
The guy that earned it, man. This guy, I bought a couple of books. I actually bought one for Sean Wiggins, right? And I mailed it to him because he loves the Red Sox. You know
Yes.
that we went to
Yep.
3 parades ago. We go to soccer.
Yep.
Games. I actually asked him if he wanted to go to this game.
Wow.
And he didn't. So Jair and his father won out. We're taking them. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
I was thinking about the kids, but then what happened? I figured we should probably do something nice
Yes,
for them, you know?
definitely.
So we're going to go to the game with them. This will be Jair's second game, a Red Sox game. The first game, he sat 4 rows behind Red Sox on deck circle. Now he's sitting 6 rows behind home plate.
Wow.
You know, when I was a kid, I never sat that close.
Right.
I was always so far
Yep.
away. Kids, my kids, they have
Oh,
no
yeah,
idea
yeah.
how lucky they are.
I know. Tell me about
First Celtics game I took them to, right? We sat in the Heineken boardroom. So I said to them, see that way up there? They're like, yeah. I said, don't get used to this because that's where we usually see the wall all the way up there? That's where we usually sit.
That's awesome.
But, guys, that's it. Let's hope Raw's better next week so
God,
we
I'm
can
hoping
talk
so,
about
brother.
that.
I'm hoping so.
I'm also going to work on some guests.
All
We're gonna be
right.
contacting Todd Sopel.
Okay, we'll see what we can do.
Right? And we're going to contact Joey Eastman. Joey said he'd come on. So let's give it a shot. Peace!
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.